Hello guys, welcome to another video about Cypher setups. This time we're on Lotus. Let's get into it then. Let's start off with the B site. I often do these cameras to start us off, but this one is rather unexpected. No one really checks up here for a camera. You can see most of the key areas with the exception of Link.
Watching this spot. Watching this spot.
And it's overall pretty nice camera. Now, an old Lotus used to be able to do something that would go like
here.
From here to here.
Here.
Because I'm pretty sure this is where all the instances used to be. But yeah. Anyways, if you want to prevent wrapping, then this is probably the best way to go about it. And if you're just trying to prevent a push, well, this will do the job. Because no one's really going to expect
cage trigger.
Aggressive cage and trip. And also, double-edged sword one-way lineup. You can also aim here and place your crosshair a little higher. Both of these work.
Cage trigger.
They look somewhat like this from both sides.
Cage triggered.
So you can still see here. It's a nice one way to do, especially if you're on attack. And these are going to just always be viable cameras because, well, you can see all of the main points from these, the main choke points. There's quite a few of these, but these three are the most notable ones. You can also do these weird ones, which let you see only specific areas of the map. For example, this one is literally designed to let you watch here.
Watching this spot.
And here only.
Here.
This way you are able to put it on there. See, I'm just missing it a little bit. Anyways, to A site we head. This is a nice aggressive camera if you want to quickly clear main. And so is this.
Cage trigger.
Now, it's best used in combination with this trick and with this double
cage triggered.
If you want to hold main. You can also combine it with this trick at the very beginning of the round, or a similar one like this, because they changed the
cage triggered. Cage triggered.
And yeah, you can just play up here. And you can wrap in the corner here. If you place it like right here.
Cage triggered.
Which is especially good on certain...
Cage triggered.
If you know your enemy is like pushing really fast. And there's also the tree camera, which I love doing. You do stuff here. Yeah, you just see tree. There's also this one. This one especially. And even better, this one right here in the corner. Because no one's going to expect it. It's really hard to spot too. but you can't really...
Here.
basically shoot your dots here because it'll end up just landing here. Now, as for the cages, I don't really have many of those here.
Cage triggered.
You can do this one though.
Cage triggered.
This is a one way, but that's just about it. Where did I put it on yet? If you want to just watch sight, I still got you. You can watch most of the main points with just this camera. The choke points are just easy to hold if you have certain setups. And you can never forget this thing, this timeless classic. Especially good if you can place it here without it having all of the leaves on it. Yeah, that's more what I meant. This isn't exactly a possible cam, but it definitely would be a good one. Or is it possible? Let me see. Oh yeah, it is a possible cam. So yeah, you can also consider doing this one. You can also place this strip. Yep. Or this strip at very early on into the round to prevent basically any pushes into spawn or B.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
Okay, wait.
Cage triggered.
There's also this cage, which lets you rat back here.
Cage triggered.
Oh, how do I mess that up? There we go. Just place your camera right here at the beginning. And if you see them,
Cage triggered.
that's just all you have to do. Now, on to see. I will be doing attack-sided cameras too in this video. So, this is a really nice camera. You can see almost all of sight. The only weakness, in my opinion, is bend. Which you will need to have this camera or a similar one for. But it's worth it because this is where new default is. This camera is also really good because you can see almost all of the sight.
Here.
With the exception of here. Oh yeah, ignore my duo. He wanted to play comp. But I need to finish this first. Oh, I swear, you should be able to place it. This is a nice camera if you want to just watch main, like the entrance into C. Like otherwise it's not really great. This might take a few tries, but it will work eventually. Ah, yeah. This. You can also combine it with a camera like this, and you can see most of my use. If you want to prevent them from rotating through water, this strip will do the job. There aren't really many one ways you can do on C, but this is definitely one of them. I managed to do it once and not again, that's weird. Anyways, let's move on.
Cage triggered.
Because this isn't really one way, because you can one way from back here. Now on to attacker cams. These are pretty simple to do. Let's say you have spike.
I have retrieved the spike.
I like placing them somewhat like this. Or this. But what I usually like to do is this unexpected camera here. Because no one checks it. And this is a nice trip. Okay, wait. There used to be a really good trip here, but I can never find it anymore. Ah, this is a okay trip, but you can walk right past there. So I won't be doing these unless you're in a pinch. Now, I think they might be able to crouch under this one. But they definitely can't under this one. Yeah, and a good camera you can do to start off is always going to be this. Because you can clear the close angle. And if you really want
Cage
to
triggered.
clear and close angle early on.
Here.
This is also a nice camera. But it does usually require you to use it.
Cage triggered.
Now, on to B. This trip is obviously going to be this one. I don't see people do this one a lot anymore. But it's really good. Close this one. This is a nice one if you want to clear everything except heaven, which you will need to peek out too.
Cage triggered.
Also
Plant the spike.
Here, so you will
Cage triggered.
swing out and clear both of those.
I have dropped the spike.
And well, there aren't many attacking times, to be honest. Lotus is an attack-sided map, but it's not a side-to-side
I have
map.
retrieved the spike.
It's definitely not a great map for Cypher, unless you know how to play him well. This is a nice camp, you can see here and here. If you want an actually serious camp, this will work, and this even better. It's basically doing the job of the speaker here. Without having to risk
Cage triggered.
Now, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. That's fine. But at least try to put down a trip something like. You can place down this to clear here.
Here. Cage triggered.
Or this. If you want to clear on the side. Okay, yep, that's all for today. See ya.
Cage triggered.